I get asked a lot about what I think about different individuals. What's their personality that you get the sense that they'll be successful being an entrepreneur? What I look for in somebody that's an entrepreneur and really believe whether they can make it or not is they truly have to be a self-starter. They're not going to be somebody I've got to encourage to pester me to talk about something. They're going to be aggressive in the sense of, okay, I've got a plan, here's where I'm going, or they're on me for questions, and that usually gives me a signal that they have the desire and drive to be persistent enough to build a business that's going to be successful. There's so many pitfalls in running your own business that if you don't develop that ability to be persistent, the odds of success are, they're very difficult. Recently, we spent time with a young man. I gave an opportunity to have his own piece of a restaurant, and it honestly just wasn't for him because he had too many other conflicts that wouldn't allow him to do it. One, his wife didn't want him to do it. He had kids that were in a lot of sports, and he just didn't have the time and ability to dedicate to owning his own restaurant. I then met someone who was 24 years old, very interested in entrepreneurship, very interested in owning his own business, and literally dove on the opportunity. It really allowed for them to be successful. A guy who got in the beer business, and he was a very successful marketing guy at a marketing company, was very, I don't want to say rude, but I would say overconfident. And that overconfidence was a tell to me, like, okay, he's not getting the beer business. The other big tell was he didn't know the industry from a timing standpoint, because he told me he was going to release a beer and start his company in December, just after Christmas. Well, if you know anything about New England and Maine, that's the worst time to launch a beer. So you know when you talk to somebody if they know enough about a business, whether they're going to be successful or not, if you know the business. My advice is spend some time in a business and around people that are in that business before you jump into it. I've hired many people over the years and also done joint ventures with people, and I've made some big mistakes in hires and opportunities. One time I hired a guy, I thought he really knew what he was doing at running an inn. That turned into a major disaster because he turned into literally a whole different person. It cost me thousands of dollars because what I thought was a responsible, organized guy turned into a guy who would have raging parties in 3 or 4 in the morning. The advice I got after that was hire slow, fire fast. The more familiar and more background information you can get on anybody, the better you're going to be in the future. One of the biggest assets I've had in my business, and I get asked that all the time, has really been our people. I think the best decision I made in the beer business was partnering with Alan Pugsley, having people that are passionate, and with Alan Pugsley's ability, Alan stepped back from Shipyard, but a lot of the things that he seeded and did are still within some of the brewers here, and I can always reach out to him, and which is a great thing. You truly have to find first people you can trust. If they don't know something, they won't fake it to the point where it's dangerous for the business or themselves, but they'll learn and get the right information and team up with the right things to make it work.